Good morning. Happy Friday. It's supposed to rain today, but it's still Friday, and that makes me happy. I hope that makes you happy. There's something very interesting. You can't see it, but there's something very interesting about the bottom of that signpost there. It's the local communication board for the neighborhood dogs. And both of my dogs are checking to see if they have any new messages. Oh, Holly's leaving a message for someone, and Patty thought about doing it, but he declined. Maybe he's gonna work on his message a little longer. Anyway, enough anthropomorphizing my dogs. Everybody's abuzz with talk about Earl Warden. Earl Warden passed a lie detector test. Now, there's a bunch of problems with it, some of which the frog highlighted very, very well. One thing that I do want to remind everybody is that the police were saying in Earl's interview that all of his daughters, except for the one that they weren't able to communicate with, said that Earl molested them. Now, if there's a name on the lie detector test that is not the name of the named complainant in the probable cause statement, I don't know what they call it out there in Texas, whatever they call it. If there's another named person on there, just remember he has a bunch of daughters, and all of them except for the one that they haven't been able to contact to give him a statement as of 2017 stated that he did in fact molest them. So wrong name might not be as significant as everybody's thinking on that. But why would Earl do a lie detector test? I'll tell you why Earl would do a lie detector test. Because he thinks he's smarter than he is, and he knows he can pass a lie detector test. Congratulations. I think the police were only interested in his willingness to see if he would pass a lie detector test. But you got to remember, lie detector tests are not admissible in court. So Earl wasted subscriber money, donator money, to take a worthless test. Worthless. It is not worth the powder to blow it up. It's not worth the paper it's written on. Even if the police had given it to him and he hadn't given it to himself, even then, still would be worthless. Now, why am I saying that? Well, because in order for it to be worth anything, it has to be something that you could introduce into court. Remember, he's going to be charged with all these sexual assaults, so he's looking to find evidence to counter the evidence that the witnesses / victims are going to be presenting. And so he's going to walk into court. He's going to sit down on the stand, and he's going to say, I took a lie detector test where I said that I didn't rape my daughter. And I passed that lie detector test. And the prosecution is going to say, objection, hearsay. And the judge is going to look at Earl's defense attorney. And Earl's defense attorney is going to say, I got nothing, Your Honor, because it is in fact hearsay. And then that testimony will be stricken from the record. Struck? I don't know. You tell me. You got to remember, hearsay is an out-of-court statement, and he was not in court when he was taking the lie detector test. It's being offered in court for the truth of the matter asserted in that statement. And he is offering that evidence for the truth of the matter asserted. And he's saying, I took a lie detector test wherein I said I didn't rape my daughter and I passed. Now, there may be some prohibition against lie detectors being entered into, lie detector tests being entered into evidence, just period, in Texas. And maybe a prohibition against the prosecution using lie detector tests in Texas. But anyway, you slice it, that's hearsay. The role of the jury, back to our civics lesson that we've been going over for so long, the role of the jury is to determine the truth of the statements made. That's not the role of a lie detector. You can't substitute the judgment of a lie detector for the judgment of the jury. It just doesn't work that way. So last night, in my Discord, we had a sovereign citizen roll through there, and I just want to let everybody know again how it works. Number one is they don't have anything, they don't have any basis to stand on. They won't make assertions. This is their Socratic method, or what they think is the Socratic method, but they don't understand the Socratic method well enough to actually use it. The way the Socratic method is supposed to work is you have a belief, and the opposing person has a belief, and you think that your belief is grounded more in reality than theirs is. So you start asking them questions, challenging their beliefs, and getting them gradually to agree with your beliefs because the questions you're asking. Like if someone is asserting that the earth is flat and you believe that the earth is round, you can start saying things like, well, how do you explain satellites? How do you explain gravity? How do you explain all the other planets being round? And when they answer these questions, assuming that they're being honest, which, you know, flat earthers aren't going to be honest, let's be real. Assuming they're being honest, eventually the theory is that eventually they'll start to understand that their position has a lot of flaws because they will have a lot of questions they won't have answers for. The Socratic method breaks down, though, when, number one, you undermine every position of yours that you could ever possibly bring. If you challenge, if you say, okay, you've made an assertion, provide a source for it, and then the opposing party provides a source for it, and then you say, well, how do you know it's true? Well, then any assertion that you ever make, ever, is going to be, and any proof that you offer ever is going to be challenged in the exact same manner. No one will ever have any proof of anything because you could simply question the proof all the way back to the very beginning. Well, how do you know that you actually exist? And that's a real question. In case you're not aware of it, there is a real question. If you are a dream, if you're the dream of a butterfly, everything in the dream that you could use to test the reality of the dream is part of the dream. It's like being in the Matrix. If you don't know you're real. And you got, I think, therefore I am. That kind of thing. Well, we don't know. I mean, that's the best we got, but we don't know. So if you're challenging the offers of proof like that, and you don't have any kind of shared bedrock belief system, then things get really squishy. And that's one way you know you're dealing with one of the Joseph Brandon Pierce style sovereign citizens. Because they have nothing but their questions. Bao does this too because he learned from Pierce. Nothing but questions. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? So, if you're getting involved with someone like that, just be aware that they are in fact a sovereign citizen, and there's nothing really to gain because you're not going to convince them of a goddamn thing because they're fucking idiots. That's why they're sovereign citizens in the first place. Anyway, that's about all the ramble that I have for today. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Hopefully I won't do 3 videos today. That was a little excessive. But my God, GED Jack is just the gift that keeps on giving. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.